Hey guys, and apologies if I sound a little funny or even more retarded than usual today. Having trouble speaking, but the good news is today is the first day in a while I have been able to speak, so this is lovely. Um, um, I want to update you guys that I will be back to making videos in probably 3 or maybe 4 days. I have a lot of stuff to catch up on since I've been out of commission for a couple days here, including clients. The videos I'm going to be uploading for a minute will be short, one exercise per video. It'll be showing you which muscles are being worked and explaining how to perform it with a very basic demonstration. Now, the reason this is going to have to wait for filming maybe 4 or 5 days is because I can't raise my blood pressure. Well, I mean, I shouldn't be raising my blood pressure for several days as I have an awful lot of healing to do. So, yeah, that's what's up. Furthermore, I wanted to update everybody as to I'll be starting a weekly podcast every single Sunday. And I would like to know if you guys would like me to start doing lives more often, as this seems to be a preferred method of hearing about my life, doing quick, short lives and then re uploading them. Or if you guys would rather I just recorded the videos myself and then chopped them into 2 or 3 4 minute videos and uploaded those. I mean, either one is fine with me, but let me know which one you guys would prefer. I don't have a preference, of course. Uh, Interesting note is over the past 2 weeks, I had a lot of people saying I'm looking skinny, and this is very true. The last 2 weeks, I've actually been down 22 pounds now. The reason for this is I haven't really been able to eat. Uh, just kind of protein shakes, basically. I mix kind of MCT oil or brain octane oil in, and I take a lot more supplements and stuff. But yeah, so 22 pounds down. I'm feeling really weak. I'm really crappy. I haven't exercised properly in about a week now. And yeah, so that's what's up with me, anyways, and that's what's coming up this week. I would, of course, always like to take a moment and remind you guys, if you have not already, click on the bubble beneath my videos. That's my little icon there. That'll take you to all of my different playlists. I have over 900 videos. I have about 30 different playlists, everything from exercising to breathing exercising to education about how to focus, how to um, meditate rather, all these things. And so definitely check those out. If you haven't considered joining the channel yet, you really should. And because you get free coaching if you do, basically. So that's pretty cool. Make sure you check out my Etsy store as I upload a new thing once every month, a new tool, a new book, a new whatever for you guys to use. They're digital downloads, except for a couple things I make myself. Consider buying them. And yeah, that's about it, guys. So I see I have a question or two here, so let me take a look at this here. Greetings, Coach Castle. In the biomechanical assessment for squat, people usually refer to a line that crosses the femur and then they measure the distance between that point and the hip and the knee, rather than measuring limb angle. How correct is that given it's in research paper? Oh, well, this will be a little bit. Oh, I see what you mean. Understood. Well, it's not correct, frankly. I have a video. I'm sorry, guys. So, long story short, what this person is referring to is that frequently, at least on images, you will see online, but also when people are measuring individuals' bone lengths, they'll just put a measuring tape on one point, say the hip socket, and then the other point on the tip of the knee, and say, this is how long your femur is. Now, just to be clear, it's not entirely accurate. Of course not. It's a close approximation, and it depends what you're using the analysis for. That being said, it's always situational. But that being but there's only one right answer. So the right answer is you need to do an actual bone scan to determine the actual length of the limbs, but don't forget that those extra couple centimeters or inches added on to each side do actually come into play with forces. I think the question you're basically trying to get at here is, are there conclusions being done by the math in these research using these methods as accurate as they could be? No, probably not. They're not. Um, a big issue I have with just about any research paper, any scientific experiment where they use athletes or bodybuilders, which is a good thing to do. Don't use untrained people, but to use athletes or bodybuilders who have been training, they do not take biomechanical factors into account. And this is a big problem. So what they'll do is they'll test them repeatedly over a period of, whatever, 3 months to 6 months up to 2 years or something, and they'll be biopsying their muscles and stuff, but they will just essentially tell them, go do squats, deadlift, bench press, whatever exercises are standardized across the group. But then they don't take into account lots of things which really need to be taken into account. For example, how do they perform the bench press? Are they actually performing it correctly? Are they all performing it with their forearms perfectly parallel with gravity? Are they all performing it perfectly in the same range of movement? Are they all performing it without momentum? Some of these people are going to have much longer limbs than other people. It's going to compromise their performance. Some people will be doing stiff-legged deadlifts. Some people are idiots. They're going to do sumo deadlifts. I mean, you get the idea. None of these things are ever addressed. None of these things are ever standardized. And none of the math is ever taken into account on a single one of these studies. I've never seen a single research study. Me and Jerry were just talking about this. Oh, Jerry Bradham. I've never seen a single research study where they took any form of biomechanical analysis into account. Now, I've done this in a couple of videos with a couple different studies. A biggie was the overhead tricep versus the correct tricep resistance. They did a study which said it was substantially better to be doing the overhead version, but they missed at least 40 or 50 things in this study which greatly contributed to variations in the study. So it's basically, in my opinion, a useless study. It solves and shows nothing whatsoever. They didn't account for the stretch reflex. They didn't account for overstretching the muscle. They didn't account for mechanical disadvantage. They didn't account for lever length. They didn't account for the age of the men involved. They didn't account for momentum or elbow lean. They didn't account. I mean, so many things were missed. So the thing I always try to tell you guys is when it comes to the research papers, I understand it's not always possible, but when you're reading them, try to read them, say whatever subject you're picking, try to read as many research papers on that subject as you can. It's really easy nowadays to read German and Russian and Chinese research papers as well. You can just go there and then with Google Translate, you literally just hit translate and it translates most of the paper correctly so you could read it. So this is a good way to get a large sample size and to kind of come to conclusions, but it's also very helpful to have your own foundation and first principle basics, such as the basics of physics, the basics of anatomy. These things are the basics of biomechanics. So if you can have a firm grasp of these simple principles, I mean, they are pretty simple to learn, then you can use that knowledge across a lot of different dimensions. I have a first principle grasp of respiratory biomechanics, as well as physics, as well as anatomy, as well as psychology and neurology. So I can take and extrapolate many things just having the basic knowledge which I have across these domains. And I encourage all of you all to educate yourselves as well. But that being said, guys, it is awfully hard for me to talk, and I have an awful lot of work to catch up on. So just everybody have a great day. And just remember, just because you were just in surgery or doing whatever the hell happened, your body's broken or you're tired or whatever, that is not an excuse to not pursue your dreams. You all still have work to do. I still have a ton of work to do, and you all should be doing your work. So guys, have a great day, and I will chat with everybody again, maybe another point today. Have a great day, everyone.